It's going to be a really busy time for all of us between now and the end of the year. And I think I've mentioned on a number of these calls how important it is that you don't use the holidays as an excuse not to continue to live your life. And you're like, what? Wait, Steve, what did you just say? Guys, don't use the holidays as an excuse to stop living your life. And what I mean by that is that we always talk about that you're not going to go out and build your business. You're just going to go out there and live your business, right? Don't go out and recruit as you go out. And if you just live your life, you're naturally going to build your business. And so don't use the holidays as an excuse to stop living your life, because you're pretty excited about what we've got going on here. And just because it's the holiday season, Thanksgiving for us here in the United States, and obviously Christmas for everyone around the world, that doesn't mean that we stop talking about things that we're excited about. In fact, it should be ramped up during the holiday season. And I'm super excited to share a story with you guys here today, because it ties into what's happening right now with everything that we've got going on in our business. And I kind of teased the topic a little bit today, and I said it's not the climb that kills you. It's not the climb that kills you. So you're like, okay, Steve, well, what does kill you then? Well, it's pretty much human nature that when we are in crisis, we take action, right? If there's a crisis, it's like you take action and you really don't even think about it. Well, when things are good, we take our foot off the gas. And what that gets you is average. What that's going to get you is average. Now, let me tell you a quick little story, a little scenario here. You know, one of the, I think, just an amazing accomplishment is anybody who climbs Mount Everest. Have you ever thought about climbing Mount Everest? Have you really thought to yourself, man, that'd be pretty cool to be able to go out and do that, to climb Mount Everest? Now, to be honest with you, I've never even thought that I would do that. And, you know, there are a lot of people who have, right? And the people who have, man, hats off. Hats off to you, man. I tip my cap to you. That is absolutely an amazing accomplishment. But think about what it takes in order to climb Mount Everest. Well, number one, it's going to take your full attention, right? You've got to have your full attention. You've got to be, you are fully in the struggle of the task in front of you, and you're forced to focus. And you really need to push yourself at every moment, because it's dangerous. I mean, that's kind of a dangerous thing, is to climb Mount Everest. But once you reach the top, you're sitting there going, are you kidding me? Look at the view. Look at the amazing view up here. And, you know, you're high-fiving with your buddies and you're taking pictures and you kind of just enjoy the moment for a while. And it's time to relax and you celebrate and you sit back and go, man, look what we just did. We just climbed Mount Everest. What an amazing accomplishment. And so you spend a few minutes up there and then you realize, all right, we got to get back home. Now we got to get back down. And it's time to kind of coast on the way back down. It's like the struggle of you getting to the top of that mountain was unbelievable. And you had to have your full attention. You had to stay focused. You had to push yourself every moment. And you did it. You actually did it. And you got to the top of the mountain and you celebrated. And now you're like, whew. You take a big deep breath and you go, all right, you guys, it is party time. Let's get off this mountain and let's go celebrate this for the rest of our lives. And you kind of coast on the way down, right? Well, let me give you a little stat. 73% of all deaths in climbing Mount Everest happen on the way down. It is 4.8 times harder to get off the mountain than it is to climb to the top. And why is that? Well, it's because people relax. and they lose their focus and their adrenaline is lower and they get complacent and they get overconfident because they thought the hard part was going up the mountain, when in reality, the hard part is coming down off the mountain. And the exact same thing happens in our lives. Guys, it's easy to pay attention, to your kids when they're in crisis. I mean, think about how you act and how you react when your kids are in crisis. It's like you don't even think, you just react, right? It's easy to eat right when the doctor says, if you don't change your ways, you're going to die. Or it's easy to eat right when you know your wedding is in a couple of months. When things are going great in your business, stay focused. Work even harder. And I've said this a million times, you guys. When things are really, really going great, and take a look around. We got some great things that are happening, don't we? You guys know. You guys know what's going on in the group. We've got amazing things happening. We've got people, on our team that are pushing towards not only national vice president, but we've got people pushing towards regional. We got a bunch of people pushing towards VP. And you sit back and go, that's happening every month. Every month we've got people pushing towards those high ranks. Okay? So when things are going great in your business, that is not the time to take your foot off the gas. That is not the time to relax. That is not the time to celebrate. Because momentum is really, really hard to get, and it's even harder to maintain. Yeah, you can celebrate the fact that you got to the top of the mountain, you climbed Mount Everest, and you're celebrating with your friends, and now when you're coming down off that mountain, you need to concentrate even harder, even more. You got to concentrate on exactly what it's going to take to get down the mountain safely. So when things are going great in your business, I want you to think about this story. I want you to say, oh my gosh, things are going amazing. Okay, that means I got to stay focused. I have to work even harder. The time to plant the crop is not when you're hungry. The time to replace the roof is not when it's raining. In 2002, Sony and Nokia, these two companies, they owned the cell phone market. Apple and Android, they weren't even in the game, you guys. They weren't even in the game. And today, it's all Apple and it's all Android. Why? Because Sony and Nokia got complacent. They stopped innovating. Crisis allows you to take action, and that's great. That's great. You've got to take action when you're in crisis. But guys, what's really, really bad is when you have that yo-yo effect. When you have that stop-start mentality. Things are going great, you coast. Boom, then things get bad again. It's like, oh my gosh, now I got to get it built up again. And you have that yo-yoing effect, and you're never going to get your business into a rhythm. Be vigilant at all times, including the bad times. Okay? Be vigilant in the good times as well as the bad times. I love what Warren Buffett said. Warren Buffett had a really funny quote. He said, when the tide goes out, you will be able to see the people who have been swimming naked. Right? So if you're not growing, you're dying. If you're not growing, you guys, you're dying. And the only way that you're going to grow is if you have a lot of stumbles and falls and you skin your knees a little bit. And just remember, when things are going good, that's when we need to work even harder. All right, everybody. Have a great Thanksgiving. Make sure that you let your friends and your family members know exactly what you're up to, because that passion, okay, can be spread to them, who can spread it to others, who spread it to others, who spread it to others. Because remember, our goal is to get this technology to 1 billion people worldwide. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.